Hi, and welcome to the Transformers Earth Wars Dev Diaries. Today we're going to take a real in-depth look at some of the artistry behind bringing these characters to life. So I've got Neil here, here's our animator, and we've got Badger, who's our concept artist. You're also going to meet Andrew, who's our 3D artist, as well as our cinematic artist, Mark. Cool, so there are so many different steps involved in bringing these characters from like a schematic all the way to like a moving thing. So maybe you can take us through that process a little bit and sort of how it starts out.
Yeah, so my job as a concept artist is to take the essence of the character, how it's appeared over various iterations from the cartoon till now, and distill that down into some technical drawings. What I'll try and do is pick out key parts of the color scheme and key parts of shapes used on them, make sure the head's really right, and then I'll pass that over to 3D. They'll do a little block out for me, which is kind of to get the major shapes in, and then that'll be passed to Neil, where he'll do some sort of animation tests which can throw up some interesting results.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. We basically work out how all the different parts will break apart and then become the vehicle. Just like when you have one of the toys. What I've noticed on other games is they'll start moving things and then they'll pop and have a model swap. Right. I've been trying to avoid that. Obviously, the toys don't need to do that, so there's no reason that we should do that. So it's very honest, and we try to make everything feel weighty and mechanical, but we're still trying to get personality. For instance, a lesser-known character like Bludgeon, he's obviously a samurai kind of character. He's got the samurai sword and everything. So I looked at Flying Kick for him. Starscream, for instance, when he transforms, he gets up and he kind of looks a bit like a peacock. He's really preening. There's other characters such as Bumblebee. He's obviously got the yellow and black colour scheme. So I thought because he's small, he's nimble, I was going for sort of like a Bruce Lee style kind of thing. Okay, cool. So when he transforms, he does sort of like a kick. So we try and bring that kind of stuff out.
So I'm here with Andrew. He's our 3D artist on the game Transformers Earth Wars, and he's going to take us through sort of a bit of a step-by-step process. So yeah, show us.
So this is Cliff Jumper. Josh made a mood board for us to give me information to know what I'm dealing with. So we have some limitations, restrictions, and this highlights those. So I'm using this to create that. This is called the blockout phase. It's not necessarily the most detailed version or the most impressive. It's just there to serve as the function of, is this going to work or not? And more importantly, does all the pieces translate into a vehicle mode or not? So the thing with Transformers that we try to avoid is cheating. So we don't really want something transforming and all of a sudden change into a different thing. We try to make it as real as possible so the pieces actually do move out and actually do transform. They are Transformers after all. So here's an example of the blockout and the concept artist going over the blockout, painting in more detail and fleshing out areas. So it's like, maybe push the shoulders bigger, maybe I made the hands bigger or something. Then we use this to generate the final model. So I guess the important thing about Transformers, and having done the other games as well, realizing how important marketing was. Okay. We try to approach Transformers in a similar way, making sure that even though we're making something for mobile, it should be scalable to the extent that we might be able to use it for a marketing image as well.
So we've seen this, step-by-step process of how you're taking this schematic or static image and sort of bringing it to life and animating it, and then this is where you come in and you do some really cool things with the characters once they're actually already moving. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes I feel like a bit of a fake because all the really fun stuff and all the really cool things have already been done, and I basically just come in and frame it up and light it up so that it looks like a film, basically. But I think what's really interesting in my position is that our game's very much based on the G1 cartoons, but it's born in this era of Michael Bay, and that's what a lot of people are familiar with. So what I try to do is kind of return it back to the nostalgic, Saturday morning pulpy cartoon style, which is a bit wacky, a bit dramatic, but also try to anchor it in what people are familiar with.
Well, thanks so much for joining us, Mark, and thanks to everyone else. If you haven't yet, check out our other episodes, one which is about the involvement of the fans in the development process, and the other where we talk to writing legend Simon Furman. Thanks for joining us. Bye.
Bye.